Okay, so how about if we have a 2 to the negative x, and I have to graph this? Well, if you remember from your transformations, okay, if I have 2 to the x, if I put the negative in front, I flip it over the x-axis. So actually, if I do this down here, this graph I've drawn will look something like that, okay, if I flip it over the x-axis, okay? Let's just undo that. So when I do the negative as part of the exponent, remember this is flipping it through the y-axis. So this is going to, let's see if I can do this. If I flip everything over there, I'm going to have something that looks like this, okay? So that's what it should look like if I flip it over the y-axis. But let's actually plot some points again, okay? 2 to the 0 is 1. Well, that point's already there. Now, when x is 1, and I have to write it as 2 to the negative x, so 2 to the negative 1, remember this? I'm going to get a half, okay? So again, here we are. When x is 1, okay, I'm going to get a half. It's not got it plotted there. When x is 2, so 2 to the negative 2 is 1/4. Okay, so this side, okay? So when x is getting bigger, y is getting smaller, and that's what this is showing, okay? Now, let's say if I do something like this. Negative 3, so 2, remember that negative's already there. 2 to the negative x, if x is negative 3, then as a double negative, that is 2 cubed, and that's why I get the 8, okay? So that's why it's kind of like back to front over the y-axis. But you can think of it as transformation across the y-axis. Also, you can plot some points just like I'm doing right here. Now, if you were to plot y equals half to the x, you will also get the same as, let's have a look, I wish I could do this again. Okay, you will also get the same as 2 to the negative x. And the reason is think about it, remember? 2 to the negative x. When you flip things upside down, they then become a positive exponent. And that's why these two are the same thing, okay? So just be aware of that. In fact, the main thing is that when you see fractions like this, something less than 1 to the power x, it's always kind of this way around, okay? And not the usual way around. And that's why, again, they flip over the y-axis. So again, instead of the classic exponential, looks like that. Okay, 2 to the x, 3 to the x, 4 to the x. A fraction like half to the x or a third to the x will kind of look like this. Okay, so just be aware of that.